Good morning, everybody. Valerie, prayer. Dear Lord God, please bless all of our emergency services and all of our law enforcement, Lord. Please, take care of our people in this county due to the heat factor. Please ease up the heat a little bit, God. In the name of Jesus, we pray, amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Ms. Tiffany, if you do the roll call, please.
Commissioner Harville,
Here.
Commissioner Pitts,
Here.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Here.
Commissioner Gould.
We have a quorum, so I'm gonna call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Everybody had a chance to look at them? Any add-ons, deletions? We'll report on this. Ms. Deputy, do a roll call, now, please.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.
All right, next item, public comments. Anybody? Jeff?
One day he's gonna have something.
Yeah.
One day.
Okay. All right, guys, let's move on down to committee reports. Anybody got anything? Bill?
Yeah, Kim, we had our Southern Five Regional Planning and Development meeting a couple weeks ago, and the city of Jonesboro has announced that they're going to become members of the coalition down there. So they haven't been up till now, but now they will be. And also, we had officials from our commission down there. They attended a meeting with other officials at the Southeast Missouri and Southern Illinois regarding the East-West Parkway that has been discussed for many years, connecting Southeast Missouri to Southern Illinois on May 9th. And we did approve a loan for a local business for some more equipment. And our next meeting is August 12th at 5:30 p.m. in Pullen, and it's open to the public for everybody to come.
Well, animal control, the dog population out there has kind of relaxed a little bit. We're still not really full. Would appreciate donations, dog food, whatever, monetary donations. But I'm gonna tell you that that new building is such a blessing this year to the previous years, due to that whole building's air conditioned. Forever, them animals didn't have any air conditioning, we just put fans on. And it's just, that new building's just remarkable. I'm so glad we were able to get that up and going. But other than that, it's running smooth out there, just a lot of strays, Like I said, please get your pets spayed or neutered. That would certainly help out tremendously.
Can I add something real quick to that? The way that building was designed and the way it's facing, especially if you guys have been out there, the backside has a big door. And it looked like to me, even that time of day, it was shaded in there, and it looked like it got a breeze through there in that portion even. So the way it was designed and the direction, the way it's situated is really helping out.
I got some real quick shoddy development. As I have here, been unable to attend a lot of meetings because it's at night. But on August the 19th at 3 p.m. in Karnak, they're having their 60th anniversary celebration. We're all invited to it. There'll be light orders, and from what I understand, they're probably one of the older entities that will provide with a 13th county or whatever it is, entities. So it'd be worth if you have a chance to get down there.
They do great work.
Yeah, And up here,
They're really good.
I mean, food pantry and all.
Just let the public, be aware, it's Jackson Union County Port Authority, that meeting for August has been canceled.
Yeah.
So we'll have it on the first Monday, September, 6 o'clock. All right, so move down to the next one, building permits, okay?
I have three. Permit 25-17, parcel number 0607043871. It's a new single-family home, mobile home, no subdivision. It was very close to the match floodplain. I did call them and talk to them about it. I guess the location where they're putting the house, there's a hill, and then just down the hill is the floodplain area. And I told her that, that there was a chance that her driveway could go underwater at some point. They were okay with it. So I'm recommending approval of that one.
Where's that at?
It is 3885 State Route 127 South.
If there's any question at all, this is the banker in me, any question, get an elevation certificate for sure, because it may not be these people, but if they do get a loan someplace, or whatever, it's gonna be, I mean, they might as well do it,
Right.
because if it's close, because I had a property that we owned on that was, the road was like down here,
Mhm.
their house was up here, like 30 feet up, but it was so tight, it was almost on a cliff.
Mhm.
Boom, we got nailed by the regulators because it just was so close.
Yeah.
And, we took them down and showed them and said, there is no way this will ever flood.
Mhm.
And, it didn't matter, they popped it in. That's it.
What's the next one?
Do what?
Sir, what's the next one?
The next one is, permit 25-18, also a new single-family mobile home, no subdivision, no floodplain, recommend approval. It's parcel number 0633055050. And then the third one is, permit number 25-19, parcel number 032901887887A1, new single-family mobile home, no subdivision, no floodplain, recommend approval for all three of those.
I make a motion to accept it.
You see it there? You want to see them?
No,
We've seen them all.
that line had a little bit of an issue, but
Okay,
just a little bit.
I've got a second.
I'll second it.
All right. So you can do a roll call, please?
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould,
Yes.
Move down to the next item, old business. Ordinance amending Article 1 of Chapter 18 of the Union County Code of Ordinance regarding food sanitation. That hasn't been reviewed yet.
It's been reviewed, I've got some things I want to sit down with Amy and talk about, but we'll table that.
Okay, so we're gonna table that one again. All right. So we're down to new business. Item A, approving of the bills. Did I get a chance to look at the bills?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
I'll second.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould,
Yes.
All right, move down to the next item. Resolution appointing directors to the Union County, Bicycle District Board of Directors. Oh, we got three of them here. We got, these people want to be reappointed. They're current board members. We got Chris Boyd, want reappointed for his term beginning July 1st of 25 and expiring June 30th of 2028. I've got Brad Donna appointed for a term beginning July 1st, 2025, expiring June 30th, 28. Mike Stable appointed for a term beginning July 1st, 25, and expiring on June 30th, 2028.
I'll make a motion to accept that.
I'll second.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Fitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould,
Yes.
All right, next item. Approval of chip gas bid. Amy, you want to say something about that?
Sure. Recently got approached by, the county engineer from Jefferson County. He had heard that we had some, fleet chip gates that we weren't using and, wanted to know if we consider selling them. I talked to Andy. We put them out, on the, Illinois Association of County Engineers, email chain, asking them to send us proposals. We got 4, and the highest, bid that we received, proposal that we received was $2,500 each for all 3 at an amount of $7,500, from Greene County. I talked to Scott about it, and we had decided that if we didn't get at least $2,000 each, that we would put them on the bid website.
Auction site.
Yeah, and, but we got $2,500 each for them, so I'm recommending that we, go ahead and sell those to Greene County at $7,500.
Curiosity, what's a new one cost?
I think they're about $5,000.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We bought them in 2008, we used them for a couple of years, we're using the, automatic drive, the self-drive machine now, works a lot better. They've been kind of hanging in our storage shed back there since, not really using them for anything, so, I think it's good to let another county benefit from them, so.
Did we buy a new vacuum pole?
Yeah.
There was a person from Jefferson County that reached out to us that wanted to buy them, though.
Yeah. And
Kind of feel bad that we weren't gonna sell them, and then we put it out there and they don't get bid.
yeah, well, you know what, and I
And if they would've got close to it, I would have felt more obligated to give it to them, because we
Yeah.
wouldn't have sold it without them bringing it to our attention.
I did feel really bad about it at first, because I know what they really wanted them, but they actually came down and looked at them.
Okay,
And then, the day they came down and looked at them, they went out with our guys and watched their operations.
okay,
And so I talked to the county engineer, his name's Brandon Simmons. I talked to Brandon afterwards, and he was like, well, he's like, don't worry about it. He says, you know, it's no big deal. He goes, we're actually thinking about getting one of those self-propelled
Okay.
machines.
because I said, if they would come back and do 7, I would vote for taking $500 loss, because we wouldn't have sold them to begin with, and they really
Right.
wanted them, but
Yeah.
if they're,
Around Mandarin County.
Yeah. so,
Maybe they were gonna-
but yeah, but since they came and looked at it, I'm okay with that.
So everybody in agreement to sell these to the highest bidder, which is Greene County?
I'll make a motion.
I second that.
Where is Greene County, by the way?
I think it's up close to, it's like just across the border from like in the St. Louis area, in that area somewhere.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Fitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes,
Commissioner Gould,
Yes.
Next item on the bid, or on the agenda, item D, Cruiser and Bell Law Firm Retainer Agreement. Tyler, you want to kind of?
So as you all know, we've been working on the solar ordinance. We have the solar ordinance in place now. There's been inquiries about solar projects. There's a very specialized, thing as far as how those projects work, how the licensing and all of the application process goes. We received an application, recently that was, I believe, hundreds of pages and lots of diagrams and documents and things that kind of need to be a little bit of a specialist to be able to fully pour over and understand what's going on. County reached out to Kruger Naval Law Firm because they have been engaged with multiple counties in Southern Illinois, specifically handling these reviews of solar proposals and applications for solar projects. I had a phone conference with them Monday, and and spoke with them for about a half an hour, kind of felt them out about how the processes work, what they know, what they do, who they've been working with. Very satisfied with what appeared to be their understanding and involvement in these projects. I think they would be a good option for us as a county to contract with, to help review and ensure that when people submit these proposals, that they're following inside the line of our county ordinance. But not only that, that the designs are, legitimate and appropriate, and they're considering all the factors that we would like for them to be considering. I know that this would be, as I said, this would be essentially be contracting with an outside law firm to do this. That's not out of the ordinary for certain specialized things. I would also note that in discussing this with them, and they are very familiar with our ordinance because we use an ordinance that's very similar to other counties. I believe they actually drafted the bare bones of the ordinance that we sort of represent in ours. They're very familiar with how our stuff's structured here. They informed me that typically in their experience, even the legal fees for their review and assistance of the county in working with these kind of projects is written into the ordinance that certain costs, such as the legal fees, would be the responsibility of the applicant. So that would help minimize our legal fees even that we might be outlaying to them to help assist us with this. Now, that's not to say it would take care of all of it, okay? But at least a portion of it is considered in the ordinance and would pass to the applicant. So all that said, I was very satisfied with what I learned talking with them. I learned more myself just speaking with them, and I think it's a good move for us to engage with them and sign off on that retainer agreement.
Yeah, but this has all been new. Nobody really knows anything about anything here, and they do. I think it's kind of a good idea, so.
And I could say something too. So as part of the application process, they have to have a road use agreement in place that would designate certain roads that they would bring materials in and out of, and the road, if roads need to be constructed as part of the project or reinforced or anything, all that gets included in the road use agreement. And that road use agreement would still come to me, and I would still review that and approve it and everything.
Okay.
They did compliment us too about how specific we work with all of that in ours. So I'm glad that you put your 2 cents in that.
Tyler, I mean, is this based on basically the size of the fees, based on the size of the project?
I wouldn't say that. I think it's just more of an hourly rate like a normal attorney retainer agreement would be, I think we could assume that a bigger project would require more review, but I wouldn't look at it that way necessarily. It's an hourly agreement, like a normal retainer.
I would think too that since our ordinance and everything is kind of modeled after other local ordinances and it's very familiar, it would take less time for them than if we had a completely new ordinance that we had developed with another attorney that they had to get themselves familiar with too, so it probably helps significantly that it's very similar.
And he and I were actually running down the lines in our ordinance on certain things as we were having this discussion. I was asking some questions about this provision. He was very familiar with it, he had it in front of him as we were talking. So I was pretty happy with, his knowledge. And
I was just curious if it was, basically, like we did on the fees for the permits, it's how many megawatts that are produced. If they charged, $20,000 for, up to,
No, it's just what work they have to put into it, and again, like you said, you're probably gonna end up assuming, things are probably gonna change somewhat with how, I assume, there've been changes at the national level on grant or, funding and tax breaks and whatnot for solar recently. My understanding is that a few of the people in the surrounding areas that were looking at solar projects have sort of cooled off because of the financial, outlays they might have to be making compared to what they would have. However, I think a lot of the same contractors that do these projects are going to pop up in the same places. It's likely that there'll be contractors that have dealt with this firm before. They've seen their proposals, they've seen their designs, and it's going to be that much more efficient for them to be able to review it, so they know what they're looking at.
And this is a good situation that we got this in place because, you know, there's no question we're maxing out our grid with electricity. You know, your utility bills might double. I mean, this is only gonna get worse because we don't have enough energy. Frankly, solar is only a more or less 12-hour producer, but it still will help the grid significantly.
Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould,
Yes.
Move down to item E on the agenda, the resolution appointing commissioners to the Union County Housing Authority Board. And what we got here, we got, 2, 4, 6, or 7 of us. So the first one will be Martha Ann Webb for a term expiring on November 7th, 2026. Chris Clark for the term expiring November 7th of 26. Ryan Dodd, a term expiring on November 7th, 26. Danny Hartline for a term expiring 7 of 2007. Ken Pitts for a term expiring November 7th of 2007. Neil Poole for the term expiring November 7th, 2028. Paula Stairs for a term expiring November 7th of 28.
I assume you, those are gonna be 2027, not 2007 for yourself.
Or 27.
27.
You know what I'm talking about.
We got 26s, 27s, and 28s.
Right.
But, for the record. Yes, I'll make a motion to accept that.
Second.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Okay.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould,
Yes.
Thanks for catching that. I get in a hurry sometimes.
Sure, all.
We don't have nothing for executive session. So move down to the other business. Anybody got any other business?
One thing, well, it's not a biggie, but, you know, I personally, because I haven't been with the county as much as I would have liked, but I took the time to go out yesterday and go out to the park, you know, the cooperation that Union County Fair worked with the city and, you know, it's been amazing that we got this. But to go out there, boy, the work is moving along tremendous. And, you know, part of the pond is going to be filled in and they've already built the dam so that, you know, they can differentiate the area. And so, if you got time, sometime drive out, you know, you'll have the park, you can't get particularly close, but it's something. It's gonna be something really spectacular. Again, you know, today to compete with other counties, it gives me, you know, these types of deals. And my grandson plays soccer, travels, and some of these soccer complexes are just amazing. And they're not big communities, so.
They bring in a lot of people.
Yeah, we know that with soccer, but.
Have you heard of any other businesses wanting to come in? I see we lose Hardee's, but we're building all this stuff. We got anybody talking about putting a hotel up in our area, but housing all these people? 'Cause I know what's taking place in Marion.
Marion, again, I mean, served on economic development and all that, you know, and frankly, as it was said by a couple of very high profile people, we're kind of right in the middle of the golden triangle with jobs. And while it'd be nice to have them in Union County, you know, 20-minute commute to Connersville, 25 to Marion, like you, it'd be nice, you could, but we're getting lots of people that are wanting to raise their kids in this community. And, you know, I mean, jobs are next to impossible unless you got something off of it. you know, Marion's got the interstate.
Phil Carbondale's dying out.
And I had a couple consultants, back when I was at the bank, that, they tried staying down here. And the problem is, there was nothing for them to do after they got off work. You know, they eat, but then they, you know, most of them go shopping or, you know, try to find something to do, but, you know, that's.
Yeah, we just gotta have, if we're gonna have all the events, we gotta have somewhere to put the people in and keep them in the town, to keep them in our small areas. Right now, we don't have a hotel anywhere to store anybody.
Unfortunately, they, you know, we do have a ton of the Airbnbs and Vrbo and things now, so.
We need to become a destination point, not just a throwaway. You know, we need to become a destination.
You know, it's nice to talk about getting jobs and we can do everything. You know, the county as a whole, or economic development of the city just doesn't have a lot of money to compete with these other communities in helping funding.
Remember David and Goliath?
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Yeah, well,
reality.
yeah,
You know, you know,
That was reality.
yeah.
One little rock.
Yeah, you know, and Tyler, you helped Ken Weber with his arms business, you know, open building. You know, he had an opportunity to go to Dongola, and they were gonna give him a building and remodel it. Because we were friends, he, you know, worked with you and got that building bought. And that's 6 jobs. That's when we've got to find little, small employers.
It's like a football game. You have to get first downs.
Anything else?
I'd like to say something, I don't guess I told Angie about it, because of her having back surgery, and then about the time that she gets back, I end up having back surgery. But she was, talking to me about overtime on some of my guys, and I said, well, so anyways, I talked to her and told her that, prior to me having my back surgery, I applied for a speed grants again. The first one was for impaired drivers, which was over right after the 4th of July, and now we're in speed grant. So I've got hours that I've got my guys out there working, writing citations on those. And then in September, it'll be distracted driving, which is the cell phone. Or anything else, but that's the number one thing when you're talking about distracted driving is people on their cell phones. I've been interviewed a couple times by 2 different television stations, so I'm sure you've already heard it, but I'll say it again. E-citation, with what we're being able to implement with it, is a great tool. We're off the road faster and keeping our guys safer. And the people on the road that's on the stop too, because people they're watching, see what's going on, or they're not watching whatsoever, and it's got people injured and hurt all over the state, all over the country. So I'm glad that that's moving forward. That's pretty well it. Last month, I will say this, we hadn't, there was, without throwing numbers out there, we had wrote more citations last month than we had in a while. I complimented with the e-citation. It's legible, and it's easy to get it right. All you gotta do is type the guy's name in, and it auto-populates from the lead system right in there, and it also auto-populates if there was an accident, a tow report, or if we were doing a tow ordinance. So it's just been a great tool, and I'm glad me and Carrie got together, and she had money in her account that was earmarked for, that's all I could use it for, is e-citation. And so did we. She gets more money because if a trooper writes a ticket in the county, she gets $10. If Anna writes a ticket in the county, she gets $10. So, I mean, that money was sitting there and been sitting there since 2011.
We've implemented it. Whenever it first came about, well, even 5 years ago, it just wasn't feasible, but, we've got some things going on whenever else. We worked together and got this done.
Is our return on ticket writing good?
So,
Like, are we like a 75% return on ticket writing? I'm
do
asking,
we
I
get
know.
dollars? Do we get dollars
Just
back?
being paid in general, or, all of us being paid, collecting the fees.
Well, the thing about it is I need Carrie in here to break this down, but with citations, everybody's got their hand out. Whenever I write you when somebody writes that citation, there's $5 goes here, $50 goes here, blah, 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 blah. So yes, we do get dollars out of it, but do we get all $164?
No, I knew that, but I guess my real question is, out of $164, are we getting paid more than 75% of the time?
Oh, from people.
From people, the public paying their bills and not getting taken care of or squashed, is what I'm asking. If we're gonna have the overtime doing all this stuff, we need to make sure we have the proper return to offset that too.
The overtime is, the state's paying us for the overtime.
Okay.
So maybe I said that clear enough. That's what that grant's for is I've got the guys out there working on their overtime shift, and then, the grant is paying for that. So,
Tyler, I'll ask you, those DNR violations to those people from Florida and that, do we get any of that money to county?
It's similar to the way Sheriff was saying, everything's divided up. Now specifically,
Because that those are some real dollars.
right, well, particularly with these deer hunting violations, there's actually a civil statutory penalty that we can assess against people, and it's by the point on the buck. Okay, so I think we hit two $10,000 civil penalties on two separate guys in this most recent one that you saw on the news. Now that specifically there, that chunk will go directly into an IDNR ops fund for IDNR, not directly to the county, okay? But it's, the county does get a distribution of the overall fines and fees, just as we do statutorily from any crime. It's never as much as everyone would think, it all gets distributed out to the state and up the line first, and then we get what's left, okay? But I have a very particular goal to cooperate with our IDNR officers. They like working in Union County. I think that Union County has a very high concentration of non-resident out-of-state hunters. In my experience, for whatever reason, see a lot of action in the courts from hunters from Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas. It's very common that I'm dealing with those areas of out-of-state hunters, and we're trying to put them on notice that if you're going to come here in our county and use our resources, you're going to play by the rules, because I have a lot of people in the community that come to me very frustrated, knowing that these people come here and just run amok, violate, and take advantage of the same game that they're hunting. Some of these other cases that I have going, I've had local people tell me I was hunting that same deer that guy poached. Well, that means something, so we're trying to make sure, among all the other criminal things that we do upstairs, that we give the IDNR laws and our hunters and outdoorsmen here the time that they deserve to. So something I enjoy doing.
Yeah. So do you have a theory on why people from the southern states are coming up here to?
So our deer are bigger.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We've got pygmy deer down there.
Pygmies? I know about hogs.
Steve Hasselbeck called me several years ago and said, somebody was spotlighting, around your farm, is there something special? And I pulled my cameras and I had a 24 non-typical buck on my camera. So Steve went right back and ended up catching them, but fortunately for them, they didn't have their gun uncased or anything, just told them, get out of Union County and don't come back,
There are a few other ones that we're working right now still that I think will be similar to what we had last week. So CPO Bass Check's one of the lead on just about everything to handle. He does a very good job.
And he does it politely, very
Yeah,
such.
very, very professional.
That's a particular crime that actually gives good sportsmen a bad name, you know?
Right. Right, and you know,
And it's
there's a
taken away
difference
from-
between making a mistake. Some people forget their habitat stamp, or they might forget to renew here and there. We're not out there looking to make examples out of those kind of people. It's these people that are coming in here and just absolutely throwing all the laws in, you know, just going in the face of all of our laws. They're blatantly violating, you know. We're gonna hold those people especially accountable, so.
That's great.
Anything else? Have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
I second.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Bierstadt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould,
Yes.